Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, just
Are we live?
we
Hello, we're here.
it says we're live, but my phone's showing it's still stream beginning.
That's because there's a delay on YouTube.
So, all right, we're up and set. So, welcome everyone to Discussions in Filmland, Episode 3. Tonight we are talking the movie Weapons with special guests Alvin, DJ Anubis, and the Common Rider Geek.
Hola.
Now, before we get into the film, I'm going to propose you guys with a question, and I don't want it to be answered now, and I'm going to ask you to answer it at the end of this discussion, and when you guys are done, I'm going to give my 2 cents on it. But the question is Weapons a zombie movie? Just something to think about there.
Something to ponder.
Mm-hmm.
But before we begin, just bear with me. I'm still getting used to this myself. I'm going to play the trailer.
That's cool.
Do what you gotta do, bro. Hammer.
Yeah.
This is a true story that happened in my town. So this one Wednesday is like a normal day for the whole school. But today was different. Every other class had all their kids. But Mrs. Gandy's room was totally empty. And you know why? Because the night before, at 2:17 in the morning, every kid woke up, got out of bed, walked downstairs, and into the dark. And they never came back.
I don't understand at all. Why just her classroom? Why only hers?
Where are our children?
We have a lot of emotional parents here. I think it's best if you keep some distance from this place.
Matthew, where are you? Where did you go?
This is where the story really starts.
Okay, so we see the trailer shows us a very interesting premise in a mystery being set up that one night a bunch of kids left their house. None of them were seen after that, and they were all students of one particular teacher. And we have the mystery unfold in a very interesting way where it's episodic. We follow one character for a bit, and then as the movie goes on, we follow another and another as it unfolds the story. So, DJ Anubis, what are your thoughts of this movie and how the story unfolds?
You know, it's a very clever film. When I first was watching it with Neko in the theater, I went through different phases. So, like, the kids disappear, you see them go in the night, and so one of the first things I think in my head is alien abduction. Then, of course, it switches over to government conspiracy. and then eventually we land on witchcraft. So it's very nice how it's set, or how Kreger sets it up, because you're constantly kind of guessing until the point that you no longer guess, because you already know what's happening at that point if you're familiar with how witchcraft works. And I kind of picked up on it like the moment that I saw it happening. I said, okay, I know what's going on now. But the plot is great. It leaves the acting is phenomenal in this. I love also the Pulp Fiction-esque approach to it. You're going back, seeing different things from different points of view, and where all the stories collide. So just a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Geek, what are your thoughts?
I had heard of the movie. That's about it. I knew it was called Whippins. I hadn't even seen a trailer before I saw the movie, so I was honestly surprised for it. Admittedly, a little, kind of a little. Fuck, I can't think of the word, but the fact that not only was it episodic, but you know, like you said, the different viewpoints, like everybody else saw the world in one way, but one character was the only one that saw the world as rainy. But you know, every other's got a person's experience through the movie. There was no rain.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, kind of surprised, and I absolutely loved the ending. It was just a great movie for me.
Good. So, Ulvin, your same question. Your thoughts as the movie's unfolding.
I like this. I think I like the mystery aspect, like Anubis pointed out. You know, you see the characters from each person's perspective, and I think that's really fun and unique. And it, you know, it makes I kind of went through phases as well. Is this an alien type of movie? Is this like a zombie, type movie? Or what kind of horror aspects does this movie bring with it that give it that detail as well? You've got multiple perspectives of horror. You could have your zombie movie aspect with the witchcraft also. You could have that aspect. There are so many aspects of this movie, and I think that's what gels with this movie. That's just me.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And to touch on what Anubis said about the witchcraft, I kind of was the same way, but it was the scene in the first story where we see a character sneak into the car and just take scissors and clip a lock of the teacher's hair. Yep. Once that happened, it's witchcraft. I'm like,
yeah, I can see that, because even prior to that, which is actually one of my favorite scenes, is when that person comes out of the house and they got this weird walk, which remind me a lot of the girl in the final scene of Suspiria, which is something that Ulv and I just reviewed the other day. So this person comes out of the house and she's got this crazy, weird, wanky walk, and so I'm like, oh, that's almost like Suspiria. So I'm definitely picking up on some of the witchcraft vibes at that point.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I wonder now that you mentioned that, I wonder if the director went through, watched Suspiria just to get some ideas. Hey, this would be an interesting, motive or idea to take a story that's like Suspiria, which is actually pretty good, and use that as elements to put into weapons.
Well, I've heard I'll have to rewatch it again to really pay attention, but I watched something on it this afternoon, and the reviewer pointed out that there are a lot of nods to different horror movies in this.
Mm-hmm. So
it's not a stretch to say Suspiria was a direct inspiration. Mm-hmm. But we get the film in an episodic format, so our first episode follows the teacher and her trying to uncover it, and we see how the town is judging her, and she's kind of a pariah / suspect number one in a lot of people's eyes, because it was her students that disappeared except one.
Yep.
admittedly, as a viewer, does raise an eyebrow. And we see she has a complicated relationship with some of the people in the town, including a police officer. That becomes a more critical part of the movie. And her story ends with her hair being clipped. And if I'm correct, the next episode is the Josh Brolin one, right?
Over Archer, yeah.
Yes, Archer. Yep.
Who wants to cover Josh Brolin's segment of the story?
I can. It's fine.
Okay.
So Archer, played by Brolin, he's a construction contractor who has a son that was one of the 17 that disappeared. It should also be noted that the kids disappeared at 2:17 in the morning, which is a specific time. Obviously, Archer is very vocal about like trying to get answers. So, you have this community center through the first chapter with Justine, where the entire parents and kids' parents and stuff are very concerned, and like they wonder why her class is singled out. Now they think that she's part of the reason. And Archer's like a very vocal guy. Is like, we need to have answers from her. So you'll see like a character arc with him later, where he goes from like really like the most villainous of the parents there to somebody who's trying to protect her because he sees the craziness that everything is created with the disappearance of the kids. So, he also is one that starts to investigate very thoroughly about what happens to the kids. So he checks the door cam, the ring doorbell to see that his kid runs out into the night and which direction it ran. And then he starts asking other neighbors who lost their kids, like, can I see your footage? Same thing. So he starts to triangulate the direction that these kids ran. And it's kind of funny because in order to corroborate his theories, Justine is the one that's like, well, yeah, this all ends up here at Alex's house. And Alex, of course, is the one kid that was still remaining. So there's like this mystery now between Alex's house and where all the kids supposedly ran in that direction. Now, there is a moment where I don't think it's part of his story, though. I think it's part of the Marcus, the principal. But that's pretty much where, Archer is just kind of, he's the one that's really investigating. He's really investigating like everything that's going on. And he's the one that's kind of breaking down like where the kids actually ran to, which is important. Now, the only thing I kind of find weird about a lot of this is, and I can't remember if he was having a dream or if he was just seeing something, but there's this house in the night and it like a gun appears on top of it, and I still don't know.
Yeah, that was a dream.
Yeah,
we noticed that.
I'm like, what is this supposed to? I know it's a symbolism of something.
Yeah, I never understood that. They don't think they ever explained the fucking dream gun.
They didn't.
Yeah.
It's a gun big enough for Godzilla to use.
I mean, obviously, because the movie's called Weapons, it's like, we do find out that these kids and people are used as weapons from the witchcraft. But it's like, at the time, I'm just like, that's what kind of led me to think, is this like a government conspiracy? Is this what this is going to? Like, I couldn't really figure out why that was there. It just made no sense to me. But so that, basically that's really Archer's story. He's the one that's kind of just deep diving into how the kids disappeared and why, and then he's trying to like connect the dots basically. But it isn't until we get like the Marcus scene that everything starts to really come across. But we have to get to the cop and the drug user and stuff like that too. So
I did, in like looking up some things and some stuff people said on it, like, I don't know what the symbolism of the gun means in context of the film, but this one reviewer pointed out that apparently a few years ago there was this gun control bill that was put up and 217 voted for it, and theorized that could be a reference to that, but there's nothing concrete on it. I'm not saying it is one way or the other, but it's just something interesting I found on that scene. And okay, since like I'm going to do this one a little unorthodox, but because the next two, I believe they're the cop and the junkie.
Mm-hmm.
But because they're kind of so interconnected, we'll just talk about both of them in one shot. Who wants to start this one off?
I'll take the one for Gladys.
All right. Okay, so the cop, the main gist of his story, well, we do find out more, like him and the teacher did have kind of a relationship in the past, and even though he's married, they still do kind of have a side thing going on.
And if I may interject, I'm wondering, since in her story that is not even referenced, but in his story it's like, oh yeah, they banged. I'm wondering if that actually happened, or if that's just, that's what we did,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did. But one thing I did learn is that if you notice the details, like the way that Justine saw like the bar meetup was different than how Paul saw it. Paul saw it in a different way as they met up, how they interacted. So that was kind of neat how Justine saw their interaction one way, but he saw it entirely different.
Yeah, that's what made me question whether they actually, had sex or not.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest thing was the takeaway was that because Justine was, basically an alcoholic, he was getting over alcoholism, and she was kind of like the catalyst for him to fall back into it.
Yeah.
So whether or not they had sex probably wasn't the biggest issue with his wife. It was because, he was drinking again. That was the bigger problem.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you watch that movie, he was just a prick. Remember what he did to the fucking junkie? Was he committing a crime? Yes. Did he deserve that shit? No.
Mm-hmm. Of course, that I can't say I 100% blame him for that. But since we bring that up, the main gist of his story, he sees this junkie breaking in and he chases him down, and he catches the guy and he asks him, he goes, now, if I pat you down, you got anything in your pockets? Am I going to get poked? And he tells him no, and he pats and gets poked by a used drug needle, and he gets mad and just punches the guy in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's very germophobic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also, let's be real, that is full on, if you're getting patted down by an officer and you have something like that and the officer gets poked, that's full on assault on an officer. Doesn't make punching the guy right, but if someone got me poked with a used drug needle, I'm not going to lie, I'd punch him in the face too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But then he panics because he realizes, oh, my dash cam's on. So he panics, he unplugs the cam, goes out, unhandcuffs the guy, and he's like, okay, here's how it's going to go. You did me wrong, I did you wrong. I don't ever want to see you again. You stay away from me. You stay away from the station. It's going to be fine. I see you anywhere near me or the station again, it's going to go really bad for you. So, talk about just digging his own grave deeper, because now not only is he videotaped assault got assault by an officer on tape, but he unplugs the camera, then threatens the guy. So it's like, if this was to go to court, you're not looking pretty good there, officer. He basically panics, tells it to, I think it was his captain, and the captain's like, well, that footage records over after 30 days, so if no one reports it after 30 days, it records over. And as he's getting ready to leave the office, he sees the junkie walking towards the police station and assumes it's to drop the dime on him, which he then unplugs the patch cam again, and I'm like, you're just a glutton for punishment, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
He proceeds to try and run this guy down.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go into the junkie, and his basic arc, it's just following the life of a junkie. He's just getting stuff, trying to sell it for more money for his fix, and he goes to break into the kid's house, he also sees like the information about a reward for the missing kids, and he finds some stuff out in this house, and that's when he decides, after getting high for a while, I'm going to go to the police station and I'm going to report this so I can get the money. So he's not even concerned with the officer that punched him in the face. He's thinking about some serious reward money. And unfortunately for him, that manic officer sees him and proceeds to run him over, or at least attempt to run him over. And that's where the episode ends. And I love the pacing of this in this movie, because we see something. How should I put it? We see what's going on. The episode ends on a cliffhanger, and then we go to the next character. And even though it's episodic, they're not always told in order. Like, we see one character attack the teacher in Josh Brolin's character early, but it's not till later that we see what exactly happened to him. So, again, the pacing and just the way the story unfolds, it's good. It's a good way to keep you guessing.
I really like the pacing on this film. I do agree with the pacing. It really, is how it's enough that you can understand it with the pacing. It goes at a pretty good speed, where I do like how it's episodic also, because then you get to see everybody's point of view. So, it kind of it's like one whole episode of like multiple episodes of a TV show you're watching, and you're, trying to piece the puzzle together or something like that. And I actually like that a lot.
Yeah, I had commented last week when we were watching this on the group watch that it would be one film that this would be an interesting exercise into editing, to actually cut this film up and place all the scenes in their proper chronological order. Mm-hmm. And just see how completely different this movie unfolds. Mm-hmm. Now, someone jumped my memory. What's the next story after this one?
I'm pretty sure it's Marcus.
Yeah.
So this is Marcus.
Yeah. It is Marcus.
Yeah. Marcus.
Let's get to who did the last one.
Olvin said he wants to handle Gladys.
So give Geek Marcus.
Yep. Yeah. Marcus was the principal, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was. God. Okay. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, in that story, we get introduced to Aunt Gladys, who claims to be the caretakers of Alex after his parents went ill. Because earlier in the movie, that lady. Because in the movie, they explain Alex's parents have gone missing, and during Crackhead's a story, we actually have we gone to Crackhead story?
I handled him in the
Crack. We get to see Alex's parents. We don't know what's wrong with them, but we get to see them, and there is something wrong with them. And during this conversation, Marcus is insisting that we need to see Alex and his parents. A wellness check. And later, Gladys visits Marcus in their home, and that's when we finally find out somewhat of what's going on. It's not a government conspiracy. It's just we got a witch. She's a witch.
Burn a witch.
Yeah. And this is in most movies I've seen with witchcraft, it's usually with potions or some spoken spell. With this one, it was simple. She wrapped hair around a stick, cut her hand, and that let her do whatever she wanted with the people. Like, she makes Marcus he beats and pukes all over his husband, and just beats the poor man to death, and
Yeah.
then she sends him after Terry, and he just the fucking scene of him running from his home all the way to get her, and just as he degenerates, it's just. I know it's not supposed to be amusing, but I just found that funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting too what you mentioned with how she's controlling them. Like the plant she brought to the house, that is also obviously a part of the equation too.
One thing I would like to see is I would like to see an origin story for Gladys, like how she came to be this. You know what I mean? Like tie the knots with this film.
Yeah, it does kind of, the story, the way it's told, it does kind of make you feel like she's very, not just old, but very, very, very old.
Ancient.
Right.
But we see Marcus chasing down Terry, which we saw in an earlier scene, but we get to see the end of that where he chases her into the gas station. There's a tussle there. She finally gets away from him there. He chases her out, and then he gets hit by a car. And during that time, Archer actually apologizes for being an asshole, or he apologizes, but I forget the context. I mean, it's been a week, and I've done so much since then. And that's also when they realize they figure out exactly because I think Archer had been like taking notes of where the kids were running from in the direction and shit, and they figure out where all the kids were running to when they left that night. They were all running toward Alex's house.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that story ends. And Olvin, you won Gladys's bit.
Yeah, I like how she can enchant people and do her bidding for them. So she enchanted Alex's parents, threatening their lives to persuade Alex to keep her secret. She ordered Alex to bring home personal items from each of his classmates. She used to draw the children to Alex's house so she could keep them in the basement and feed on their life force. She's basically a vampire in a sense, where she has to feed on life force to survive, I guess.
And we do see, like, it shows the footage of when she first showed up. She looks older and more decrepit, and as she's feeding off the life force, she arguably starts to look better.
So
yeah, that's what she does. Is she gets the parents first, Alex's parents first, and that's how she kind of is able to get up and walk around. And she starts talking to Alex about, tell me about your classmates. Yeah, and of course she has to be able to have Alex get her a piece of item from them, which actually was very clever because normally you would think he would have to look for a specific item, so like a piece of hair or this or crayon, but he just took their name tags, which was so easy for her to use. But yeah, that's basically how she was able to lure the kids out of there. But probably one of my more favorite scenes in this as well is when Alex actually first comes home after they've been bewitched. They're sitting at the table. And he's trying to communicate with his mom and dad, and then Gladys is like, she does the little snap thing, and then they start stabbing themselves with a fucking fork. I'm like, oh shit. So yeah, that's one of my more favorite scenes in there.
Archer and Justine enter Alex's house. Paul and James are enchanted, and Justine takes Paul's gun, fatally shoots both. Archer searches for Matthew in the basement. Gladys enchants him and sends him to attack Justine. Alex evades his bewitched parents and replicates Gladys' spell using a strand of hair from her wig. I like this part, how she uses a strand of hair to undo the spell, basically, in a sense. And children emerge from the basement. Gladys is running the heck out of the house, scared as can be, around the neighborhood, and they rip her to shreds. Her death frees her victims, and Archer remains in a catatonic state still for a bit, I guess. Yeah.
And the voiceover at the end does touch up on some stuff like the kids' parents never fully recover.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It kind of threw me for a loop a little bit, and I'm assuming it's all about time. So, the parents are under the spell for so long that they're almost catatonic, I guess. And then, but then the kids are there for quite a while too. But yet, the narrator says that some of the kids actually start speaking again. So, like, I don't know if I really believe that. Plus, if they do come back out of it, like, how much memory do they have of maybe cutting up Gladys into pieces? Like, that's trauma right there. So I just don't know, like, that's something I wish they would have explored more with the story at the end.
And the whole scene of those kids just chasing Gladys, that was just absolutely fucking epic. Just watching those kids fucking juggernaut their way through shit.
What I loved was the guy that was mowing his lawn, then he sees her running, then sees the kids running after her. Mm-hmm. I do agree that scene, it was Anubis's wife, Neko, that pointed this out, that it's kind of off with the tone for the rest of the movie. And even though I love it, I do agree it's kind of tonal whiplash. But the fun fact about the narration, apparently the original screening of this movie did not have that narration, and the audiences hated the ending. So after they added the narration, the audiences approved of the ending. Anyway, now I'll ask again, and I proposed a question to every one of you. Is this a zombie movie? And Ulvin, what's your take?
Yes, I think it is, because of the children being in that state of, like, zombie kind of like state that, where they're like, under Gladys' spell. So they could be children that are zombies.
Okay, Geek, is Weapons a zombie movie?
I would say no, because it doesn't feel like a zombie movie, because most zombie movies, it deals with an infection, and you got you got the people running around eating each other, and this was more focused on the magic, and even the magic, it didn't feel like they were zombies, because when you think zombie, you think slow, shambling, just but these fuckers were dashing for the life of them. I mean, look, remember, like we were just talking about those kids. Those kids were just, I'm the juggernaut, bitch, right through fucking windows, just roar. I mean, maybe they were World War Z zombies, but as for just, a zombie movie, me personally, I would say no. Still a great movie, but that's just my humble opinion.
Okay, Anubis, is Weapons a zombie movie?
No. I can see why some people might kind of look at it like that, especially when I talk about the scene where the mother comes out of the house earlier in the film to cut the hair from Justine. Like, she has this very zombie-like walk where she's almost feel like she's undead, but none of them are dead. None of them have decayed or anything like that. You can say that they're in like a zombie-like state, but then I would say that that's probably more of like a possession type of thing rather than a zombie. So I never got like a zombie vibe from this film at all.
Okay, interesting. As for me, I'm going to say yes, but not undead zombies. Before George Romero did Night of the Living Dead, there were zombie movies, but these were people controlled by voodoo.
Mm-hmm.
A good example would be White Zombie with Bela Lugosi, where he basically played a voodoo priest who was controlling his victims.
That's
And in those
classic. Sorry to cut
in
you.
those movies, it wasn't so much you had to stop the zombies as it was you had to stop the person controlling the zombies. So why I say it, yes, it is a zombie movie. It's not an undead zombie movie. It's an old fashioned. Well, maybe old fashioned ain't the right word, but it's a callback to the old voodoo zombie movies.
Well, those are still to me like voodoo, and voodoo is still like witchcraft to me. So I get what you're saying, because I think even you can even go back to 1987's Serpent in the Rainbow. It deals with the same type of plot that White Zombie does. So I understand where you're coming from. So I don't think there's really a right or wrong answer to that. They try to, in horror, they try to do different types of crossover with zombie type films. So like you'll watch something, as you said, that isn't your undead walking, falling apart zombies, but then something that's more just like a zombie like state. So I get what you're saying, but again, when I'm watching it, once I see the witchcraft, I just kind of like also just think of it as possession more than anything.
Exactly what you just said. There's no right or wrong answer. That's why I thought this would be a fun question to propose, because I just wanted to see what everyone's point of view on it would be. And again, none of us are going to be 100% right or wrong. I think whether or not it's a zombie movie is totally subjective to the individual, and I'm not disappointed with the answers I got.
You know that with the White Zombie, they say that's like the first ever zombie movie.
One of the first, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So now but yeah, we did, at least in this character, we did get like an interesting new horror villain. I don't know if she'll ever go to the level of like a horror icon, but some interesting facts, and it does kind of imply to what she was setting herself up as, in how she was controlling everyone with the powers. The kid's family, their last name is Lily, which, from what I understand, in a certain language does mean ruler. And the name Gladys, I forget which language, actually means princess. So by saying she's a relative of this family, it's Princess Ruler. As well as some other theories I've seen proposed. If you like freeze frame, like when Benedict Wong's character gets hit, and you could see some of his brain and it doesn't look normal. And when Gladys gets ripped apart, it was pointed out something about her blood doesn't look normal either. And another fun theory is that that plant she brought to the house is somehow some kind of cordyceps.
Yeah. Missy and I kept trying to figure out like what kind of plant that was, but that's not uncommon with witchcraft, that they use like herbs and stuff like that to conjure, spells and whatever. But I couldn't tell you what the name of that plant was. I even tried to look online to see if I could find out what kind of plant she was using, but that was kind of cool.
I do like that, though, that the movie leaves certain things ambiguous. Like, this is a fun one to discuss and look up the theories about, because while we do get some answers, we don't get all the answers. And it's a hard balance. Some movies, you need the hardcore answers. Some movies, and this is one of them, it's better to leave the audience with a few unanswered questions.
Makes it interesting that way.
Okay, so, and now going in the reverse order, so what's everyone's rating on the movie? And we'll start with Anubis.
So I'm still where I was before. So it's still like an 8 out of 10 for me. When we went to watch it, Neko was telling me everyone's talking about this film. They're saying it's great. And then one of the reasons why we went to the theater is because she's like, everyone says this is better than Sinners. And so I'm like, wow, that's a tall order. So I said, okay, let's go give it a whirl. So by the time I got out of it, I did like the film, but I was like, whoever said this was better than Sinners was on crack. It's not quite that close. So good film. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed this far better than Barbarian. Barbarian I didn't like that much at all. So this one I did enjoy, but I won't say that it's better than Sinners, at least in that regard.
I'll be watching Sinners tonight, so I'll be able to make an opinion myself. I
think
watched.
you enjoy it. I think you.
I
enjoy
watched
it.
a YouTuber called Rono Gaming who did a review of Barbarian, and Barbarian looks interesting. I might give it a shot, but I would agree that I don't think Barbarian would be is better than.
I mean, I gave
Weapons.
Barbarian like a 7, so it's not like a horrible film, but like again, people were really overrating that film. So like, I'm kind of always wondering like. Craigers is a good director. I don't know if I see him as being better than some of the other horror directors that I like. It's just personal opinion.
We'll see how his directing turns out with the video game next, because he is doing Resident Evil next.
And from what I've heard, he's actually has no intention to include any of the characters in the game.
Hello, Gojira.
You're 851, Matt. Welcome to the show.
Matty Ice.
Okay, DK, what would be your rating for this movie?
I'd give it a good solid 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed the movie, and I know it. I know you know the tone for like that ending with the witch being chased down by the little kid. You know, was kind of tonal shift, but I really like that because. The earlier part of the movie, except for, you know, like the part with Marcus was kind of like slow, which, you know, would work for the movie. And for me, just that moment of just furious, psychotic, insane energy was just, it was just nice. So, yeah, a good movie. Don't let your kids watch it.
Welcome aboard, Jake.
Oh, we have comments.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, I had it full screen, so I couldn't see the comments.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm surprised that unless Anthony doesn't have the on-screen thing, I'm surprised he doesn't have it up.
Yeah, he can. He could put it.
Well, I don't know if it's part of a certain package or not, but
well, I can pull them up here. I'm just still kind of getting the hang of this whole thing.
Yeah. I don't know if you have a thing next to private chat. It should be a thing that you click on.
Yeah, whenever you go live, there's like a beta thing where you can throw your comments onto your screen.
Show live comments.
Yeah,
I've done that before. I have to check it out again. This is just the third stream I got under my belt. I'm still learning.
He's a noob.
You learn as you go.
He's doing good though. He's doing good.
You're doing good.
Okay, Ulvin, what's your rating for weapons?
I didn't hear you hit Geek score first for
8.5.
8.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm around. Okay, so I really like weapons a lot. I really enjoy Gladys. I think Gladys is an interesting character. She reminds me a little bit of the character in Suspiria. Also, the witch. I can't remember the witch's name. The big bad in that. I think Gladys, like Anthony has said, does belong, is going to fall eventually into that list of horror iconic villains. Whether it be Freddy Krueger, whether it be Jason Voorhees, whether it be Michael Myers, or any of those dark, eerie, creepy villains. I think Gladys fits that bill. I like the story, how it's told from each person's perspective. I think that's what makes this movie so well. And I think the witchcraft aspect is pretty cool. Also, how she can cut somebody's hair, use it wrap it around the string and control them and make them her puppet in a sense. I think that's a cool aspect of it. Me personally, I would say it's a 10 out of 10.
High praise. But
There you go.
it does seem to be the thing like I'm seeing with this movie. It's like most people are just putting it on that like 10 out of 10 level.
Yeah.
Gladys doesn't have the guts to. You're not wrong, Pat. You're not wrong.
No, he's not wrong.
I mean, it's easy. I mean, it's easy to see by the end of it. She just fell to pieces. I mean, come on.
I fall to pieces. Whoa, whoa,
Good
whoa.
song.
I think what really made her so effective as a horror villain is because you just don't expect this out of a little old lady.
Right.
But me, I'm going to have to go with I'll give it an 8 out of 10, I think is fair. Whether that holds up on repeated viewings, I'm not really sure, but I enjoyed it for what it was, and it was fun to watch as a group because as we were watching it, like we were like actually bouncing theories back and forth throughout the whole movie. So at the very least, if you're on the fence about this movie, I would say get a few friends over who haven't seen it, stream it, rent it. Even if you buy it, just pop it in, watch the movie, and discuss it as you're watching it. Because if nothing else, I promise you're at least going to have fun with the discussion for the movie.
So you're saying you recommend checking this out on streaming when it drops? Is that what you're saying?
If you're on the fence, just check it out however you can.
Oh, you had another comment just now.
Let's see.
Yeah, she was very good in this.
Agreed.
Agree.
I mean, I thought they all did a good job. Benedict Wong and Josh Brolin. I thought they all did great in this.
Josh Brolin, it's about a given he's going to do great in anything he does.
Right.
Agreed.
He just he's one of those actors, I dare say he doesn't even need a director to bring the best out of him. He knows how to bring the best out of himself.
Yep.
Where some directors, I'm sorry to say, one I'll throw out there, and I'm not saying he's bad, Michael B. Jordan, I feel he really needs the right director to bring the best out of him. But anyway, now in reverse order, what does everyone have coming up in the future? We'll start with Ulvin.
What does Ulvin have up on the future? Well, we have Silver Screen Savants on Saturday. We are talking about
Tony the Tiger.
We are talking about Halloween. Michael Myers' film debut. Sorry, don't know the year, so that's my
78.
fault. 78. Okay, 1978. Me and Mr. Gojira851 in the chat. We are doing a Gears of War Reloaded live stream series. We'll probably picking that up again in the future. Also, we're doing a comic show called Unboxing Comics where we talk comic books, characters, and stuff. Yes, I see you in the comments. Me and Geek and Anthony Jordan and others will be doing a show called Henshin Revolution podcast, Henshin Revolution podcast thing, where we talk tokusatsu shows like Kamen Rider is going to be a franchise we'll be getting into. We'll be getting into the Super Sentais, Ultraman. Kikaider is our first franchise we are starting with, one that not a lot of people know about. So, yeah. And we have another show called Henshin Highlight where we'll be going through the lore, going into the lore. He's talking to you. And it's going to go into characters, origins, villains, anything that anybody has ever wanted to know about, like going into the history of characters and stuff. That's the show for you.
Good. Geek.
Yep. I think I got that show in October, but other than that, I don't have really much planned.
Oh, you do have the Tokusatsu thing that I mentioned.
Oh, that's next week?
No, in the future, upcoming. They said upcoming projects.
Yeah, well, there's that, but you never gave me a specific date when we're going to start that. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm trying to do the intro, putting that together.
But yeah, I got that planned. It'll be out when it's out. But other than that, no, I don't have much planned. Just taking things day by day, you know.
He also said October 11th should be. He's joining us for the Fog.
Yeah, my favorite movie when I was a kid. It's still now. It's still a damn good movie. The original Fog, not that fucking remake.
The
original. Fun fact: one time I was at a flea market, and there was a booth selling used DVDs, and like they were $1. Or a couple dollars, I forget, but there was a copy of the remake of The Fog. I bought it from him and just tossed it in the trash can.
Dude, that
was a waste of $1.
My God, that movie was so awful.
I took a copy of that movie out of circulation.
The sad thing is the girl Camille in that, who was in When a Stranger Calls, actually did a pretty good job in that film. So I was looking forward to the remake. And then, like, when I saw it, I was like, how did they fuck this movie up, dude? They trashed the fuck out of it.
The simple explanation, they changed the leopards. Instead of being leper pirates, all of a sudden they were just lepers.
Yeah, it's just terrible. It was a bad movie.
On paper, back in the day when you saw the cast, it was like, okay, this looks promising.
Right.
Tony was talking in the... I don't know if you saw that.
Wasting money.
Yeah. Again, taking that movie out of a copy of that movie out of circulation is a good deed. I look at it as community service.
He just said something then after that.
Anthony, we gotta make fucking Kevin like force him to review and watch that remake.
Oh.
Wait, what? Oh yeah. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
We're gonna tell him it's like the greatest remake ever made. We're gonna set him up.
Kevin would be out for all of our blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll finally get a movie he admits that Rec 3 is better than.
Right? Yeah, right. Yeah, he will not let that one go.
It's from an Into the Darkness episode, in case you folks are wondering what this is from.
For those of you that want that reference, go to the entertainment headquarters and look for the Into the Darkness episode where we discuss the Rec franchise. There's a very hilarious moment in there when we all rank the movies.
Yeah.
Oh, another comment, Neil.
Fuck Justin Long. Fuck you for posting that too, dick.
I've never seen the original Grave Encounters, so I can't say anything about the remake.
I have a feeling I have, and even that wasn't that good. So
you're not really a fan of Justin Long, are you?
Oh boy,
who the fuck is Justin Long?
Of course, he likes it because it's found footage.
That's probably why I don't know this fucking found footage.
Of course, fucking found footage horror right there.
If you guys want to see more of this, watch Ghouls of Midnight. Well, remake isn't filmed yet; it's just announced.
Oh boy! And I bet that'll be his pick on Ghouls of Midnight one time.
That'll be my pick. It'll probably be his pick.
That's what I said. It'll probably be
He's all pissed off. Hey, don't be mad about Divinity, man. Come on now. I didn't even give that a 10, though. I didn't give that one a 10.
Okay, so Anubis, what do you have coming up?
Mainly this week, coming up, I'm going to be doing my Ghouls in Midnight pick with Dickhead over there, and we're going to be doing Bambi the Reckoning to continue our little fairy tale fucking horror shit.
I saw a poster for that. I thought it was just a fucking AI slop kind of thing.
Oh, no.
Actually
It's for
made
real.
oh my! I started
It
watching
exists.
one of the Popeye horror movies the other day, but oh my god, they really made a Bambi horror movie.
And I
Please
also-
tell me it's better than the fucking Pooh Bear one.
Well, the Blood and Honey was okay. The second one was actually pretty good. And then we got into Peter Pan's Neverland, which was not too bad. Popeye, he was okay.
Which one? There's I think there's 3 of them.
Right. No, this is Popeye the Slayer Man, so I think that's part of it.
He said it.
I picked what? What did I pick?
You know, I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I mean, there's a lot of them I picked. I don't know. We've done like 80 fucking movies. I don't know which one.
Now, I don't think Popeye was in that universe, though.
No, it is. There's a Popeye the Slayer Man. That's the one that's tied to that universe, I think. The Twisted Nightmare. So yeah, so Bambi is the next one up on the list. So, well, I'm not saying Bambi's bad yet. We haven't even seen it. Actually, when I did a trailer reaction to it, I was like, "This looks pretty sweet." Bambi looks like a badass. So
Yeah, there's 3 Popeye movies. There's Popeye the Slayer Man, the one I was watching, which is called Popeye's Revenge, and then one called Shiver Me Timbers.
yeah. Well, I was telling Tony, whenever you have like one, they decide that there's like other guys that have the same script and they're changing it up for their own movie. So
I
that's
mean-
basically what
I
happened.
mean, they did a Steamboat Willie horror movie and
Oh, yeah.
video game, I think.
He has a link to Bambi. I sent him it already.
Are you
Yeah,
talking
well, that's
about
why
me?
I said to him, I was like, we need to get this done because Olvin sent me a link. So we're going to watch it together on Tuesday. So
Yeah, you
don't
can
you
watch
fucking
Popeye's
do
Revenge
that.
for
No,
free.
you don't. I refuse.
Hey, Anubis, I refuse to do Free from Hell on Savant.
Free from Hell? Oh,
It's the
The Rob
third
Zombie.
Rob Zombie Devil's Rejects movie.
Yeah,
well, I
refuse.
was disappointed with that but you know, it's not really anyone's fault that Sid passed away. I mean, it happens,
No, I
but
know. Is that all other than ghouls?
yeah, because I haven't really set anything else up yet. That's pretty much all I've got really set up right now
They'll be on Savant on Saturday also.
for Halloween. Yep.
So, okay, so as for me, I got my Montober I'm in production of. Right now, I have on my computer my review for. Hello, he got sidetracked.
I got sidetracked. Your ass came in and sidetracked the whole fucking thing. You are a sidetrack. No, you're a skid mark sidetrack, is what you are. I actually love my co-host. He's a good dude.
Anthony, I forgot to mention I think oh well, you'll probably mention it also, but on Sunday, I'm also joining Kevin Lambert on the entertainment headquarters for Kaiju Connections, The Magic Serpent. Oh.
Jake, this is them behaving.
You're right. This is like tame. This is all tame. Poor Jake.
Yeah.
I think Jake's face is probably red as a fire engine right now. I was saying, I got my Montober coming up. I have to edit my Phantasm 4 review, so I got to record the footage. Then I need to watch and review Phantasm 5 Ravager, do my ranking. I have some other stuff for Montober, which is going to conclude with this year's Halloween movie, Halloween Resurrection. My Gundam Wing retrospective is continuing. I have to edit part 10, and I may or may not. Well, someone in this chat knows the answer, but I may or may not be concluding that in December with a review of Endless Waltz, and there may or may not be someone in this chat who's going to be my guest for that discussion.
There's someone also in the stream that loves Gundam as well.
I mean, that was my jam when I was a kid. My first Gundam series was Gundam Wing.
And listen, I might be on the entertainment headquarters one Sunday, but other than that, I'm going to be with Ulvin and his guests Saturday for his first time watching Halloween, and I'm definitely going to be a part of the Fog and the Thing. But this, that's right. Go on.
Are you on Sunday also? This Sunday?
I might be. I'm going to try and get the movie watched.
We can do a watch party for it if you want.
Okay, he also gave me a link for it, so that should be fine.
Okay.
But this has been episode 3 of Discussions in Filmland, and I want to give a very special thank you to Ulvin, DJ Anuvitz, and Common Writer Geek for taking time out of your schedule to discuss this film with me.
It was a blast, man. I'd gladly do it again. Just let me know.
Okay. And for shout-outs, Gojira851, Jake Hall, and Mr. Tony Head, thank you guys for stopping by, especially Tony, because Tony's comments, I promise, will lead to the most clipped moments from this stream.
I actually, to answer your question, Tony, I kind of look more like Anthony, bald head, beard. I just don't have glasses, and I'm also probably I'm also most certainly a lot uglier than he is.
One day he said he's gonna get a camera so we can see him on camera.
Yes, I will get a camera. I don't know why you want to see me, but I will just.
Actually, money you're probably better off not doing that because we paid a price for ourselves putting ourselves on camera. We get torched all the time.
Yeah, just my luck. My bosses be like, "So, what are you doing on your days off?" The fuck I want to do.
Talking shit about movies.
So, anyway, again, thank you guys for stopping by, and this has been episode 3 of Discussions in Filmland, and this wasn't one I really planned ahead of time, so it kind of came, it just kind of like, it was an impromptu thing. We were like, we should do this, and I'm like, you know what, I'll be the one to do it on my channel. So don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, everyone, and over and out.
Yay.